What's good, people? NBA Finals 2020 Game 2 in the books. JC3 here. We are live. Looking forward to tonight. We got some guests coming on tonight. We're going to have a really solid live stream after a pretty solid game. A lot better than Game 1. Obviously, the stat of the night, the man of the night, as you can see by the title, is Anthony Davis. He's the first Laker since Shaq to have 30-plus points through the first 3 quarters of games 1 and 2 of the NBA Finals. Really impressive Anthony Davis tonight. Once again, I'll repeat that stat just in case you missed it. The gravity of this stat. Anthony Davis puts up 30-plus points through the first 3 quarters in both games 1 and 2. The last Lakers player to do this back-to-back NBA Finals games was Shaquille O'Neal in 2002. Anthony Davis tonight, absolutely on fire for the Lakers. 40 minutes, 15 for 20 from the field at one point. I think he was like 13 for 14. Hardly missed any shots. Kendrick Nunn did block his dunk, though. But for him, 32 points. And I think he's really making a case for Finals MVP. He had 32 and 14, but LeBron, 33, 9 and 9. And it's crazy, I got to say, but another player, and I'm talking about his teammate, because it's almost like those two, the competition for them to become Finals MVP has even outweighed the competition of the Miami Heat. And it's no shots toward the Heat because they competed all night, and I'm going to talk about it all. 124-114, the final. LA wins, and they go up 2-0 in this series, and they're now 4-0 in their black Mamba jerseys. And as I've said many times before, I am running multiple things here tonight. We're going to have some Zoom guests. We're going to have people on. It's just going to be a great thing. It's going to be a great thing. If you find myself looking off in the corner, that means I'm doing stuff on the computer and everything's going on there at the same time. Obviously, I'm going to listen to the live chat. I see Dennis on here. I see Brandon Crotchet on here. Definitely going to get both of you guys in the Zoom tonight. Let me just go ahead and check right on over here. And so, yeah. And I want to speak specifically to Dennis and Brandon. I will post the Zoom link right in the live chat on this YouTube video. So you can just join it directly from there. And that will be in a few minutes. But first, as always, you know I like to get to my monologue. I don't have any more pictures to show really tonight. Oh, maybe this one again. Why not? Spoelstra had a quote after this game. He says, "We don't give a you know what everybody else thinks." He is locked in. They're down 2-0. They really couldn't cut that lead tonight for the most part of the game, below 10 in the second half. They did get it down to 4 in the second quarter, but that was about as close as they were going to get, besides obviously 0-0 tie game opening tip. The audio and video should be better tonight. Everything should be better. I did my due diligence. So let's get into a couple of the notables as I give you my monologue for Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Heat injuries, obviously. So Dragic, before the game, he was announced out with a torn plantar fascia. You can go back and listen to the previous live stream. Obviously, that's tough. That's going to be hard for him to walk. Not returning to the series. Adebayo was out tonight with a shoulder injury. We saw Kelly Olynyk come in and score 20. Grab a decent amount of boards off the bench as well. And so he came in and he did the best he could do as the backup for Miami. But obviously the efforts were short because the Lakers against the zone tonight is where it was at. The Lakers tonight, they favored Morris over Howard. And obviously that's a direct effect of the zone. Miami was going to that zone. It was almost like they were daring LA to shoot threes. You know, the Lakers started a little bit slow from 3, but they picked it up. LeBron, he was left open for a lot of threes. Another product of the Heat zone defense. AD and LeBron, they combined for 65 points and 23 rebounds. And the Lakers as a team went 16 for 47 from beyond the arc. That is the most threes attempted in a game in finals history. Obviously, again, I'm going to say it, direct product of the zone. But due to matchup problems, the Heat almost have to go to the zone. It's a darned if you do, darned if you don't type of situation. As we were talking on the live stream after Game 1, Heat were in the zone, but they got a lot of switches man-to-man when they went to that. Tyler Hero on LeBron James and players like that, where it's just like you can't be putting Tyler Hero, 20-year-old Tyler Hero, on LeBron James. Hero, by the way, became the first player in NBA history, actually the youngest player in NBA history, to start an NBA Finals game 10 days younger than Magic Johnson did it way back in, that might have been 1980, 81. Forgive me if I got that wrong. It's either 80 or 81. Played the 76ers. I know that. And so anyway, Lakers 16 for 47 from beyond the arc, 47 threes attempted, and it was almost like, so many of them were open, and the Heat were daring them to make it. And only a 10-point win by LA. They miss a couple of those threes. They make 4 less. They pull a Houston Rockets and they miss 27 straight. You never know what's going to happen. They could have lost. And so that was a point that I had from this game right here. Jimmy Butler, he filled the stat sheet in the first half. Commentators were talking a lot about him, saying that he needed to take more shot attempts, but he involved his teammates a lot. I think he had a near triple-double at the half. Didn't end up with a triple-double, I don't believe. Was short in the rebound department, but had double-digit assists. The Heat, they cut the lead to 4, as I mentioned earlier, in the second. LA had a run that helped pull them away in this game. And another crazy fact on this one, the other guard for the Miami Heat, shooter, Duncan Robinson, his first field goal of the finals actually came in this game. 44 seconds left in the first half. He hit his first field goal. That's wild. That's wild. It took him that long. And so that's going to be a problem. I didn't realize that in the last game that he had 0 points. That's going to be a problem. He's going to need to make some more shots. If you're going to be the starting shooting guard, you need to put in double-digit points, and losing by 10, well, there you go. It could be a missing link in this whole thing. The Heat, they wouldn't go away in the third despite LA's barrage of scoring. The Heat actually outscored LA 39-37 in the third. The Lakers had 103 points after 3 quarters, though, and down the stretch, to me, it was like, who's going to step up, make big shots for the Heat? And instead, we got Olynyk tossing up some bricks. But he did have 20, though, and he recorded a lot of rebounds, so I'm not hating on him, but it just doesn't seem like the option you want to go to down the stretch. Kelly Olynyk had, unfortunately, a lot of shots at the end of the shot clock, guarded heavily by Anthony Davis, had to throw it up there. Basically, Miami couldn't come through with the big shot, whether it was Olynyk, Butler. They couldn't hit that timely shot that could have cut the deficit below 10. Lakers had 16 offensive rebounds, obviously their second chance points. Just played a huge part. Miami small, Lakers big. And we see it again here tonight. Even with the Lakers not even playing Howard as much to favor Morris, 3-point shooting against the zone. How basketball works, still Morris is a bigger body than Jay Crowder. Heat couldn't cut it under 10. And again, Lakers undefeated in the Black Mamba jerseys 4-0. Let's get on over to the chat tonight. And, I'm going to go ahead and get a Zoom link going as well for you guys in the chat, and also for a pre-planned guest that we have here tonight as well. So during this time, continue to type up your questions, and I'm just going to do a little bit of multitasking by starting a Zoom meeting and also getting somebody in here, and then getting you guys in here once all this starts. So let me go ahead and get the link for this. Once again, go in double trouble. Now would be a perfect time. Type anything you want in the chat and I will get to it. I'm going to go ahead and send this Zoom link off, and then I will come around, get it to you guys in the chat, have you all in here, and we can talk about this game. We can break it down, because I gave my monologue. I just gave my monologue right there for y'all. So let me go ahead and get this off to who it needs to go to here. And then we will get going with all of you in the chat as well. But Anthony Davis could very well win Finals MVP in this one. And I wouldn't be surprised. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I tweeted out, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry 2018. And Steph Curry averaged more points per game than Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant had the more well-rounded stat line in terms of rebounds, assists, everything like that, and they gave it to Kevin Durant. So I'm wondering if it's going to be the same thing this year where LeBron has the more well-rounded stat line. Not to say that Anthony Davis doesn't, but Anthony Davis is going to average more points than LeBron. LeBron may average more assists, maybe more rebounds. Davis is pulling in a lot of rebounds. So we'll see. LeBron, either way, he may have the more well-rounded stat line in this one, and they may give it to him because of that. So anyway, we are waiting right here for this Zoom meeting to go ahead and get going. Okay. And we're waiting for connecting to audio right here. And let me go ahead and share this screen. Can we hear Alex Burleson on the line?
Yep.
There he is, Alex Burleson. I'm just going to go ahead and put up, so you're watching me in the Zoom meeting right here instead of on the live stream, because the live stream will be a little bit delayed. But thank you for joining in. Oh, I see the Captain America behind you, man. Let me go ahead and actually get that up on the screen. And then I'll,
yeah.
So there's your Twitter handle up there. And then let me go ahead and get you actually up on this screen display capture. Look at what we're doing here, people, man. Multitasking. Okay. And I'm going to put the chat box up here so everybody can see that I'm actually looking at this. Anyway, there we go. Zoom link meeting
watching the game.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's definitely, let's go ahead and hear your initial reaction to that game there, man. Game 2.
So my first reaction after, like, I was doing note taking like almost each quarter, but one thing throughout the whole game that I can definitely tell is that the experience weighs more than the fight, and I'm talking about the Lakers' experience over the fight that the Heat have.
Right. No, very young team, and there was a graphic. Just in case, I don't know if I did the proper introduction of you as well, Burley. This is a guy right here, avid NBA fan, just a really solid guy, knows his stuff. We had his Twitter handle on there. You can go follow him at ABRenewed. But anyway, big Kings fan. We won't talk about that right now because they're not in the limelight.
Yeah.
But it must be tough watching LA out here for you, my guy. But yeah, no, I agree. And I think there was a graphic posted earlier. I think I saw it on Twitter, and we saw Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Jay Crowder, Jimmy Butler. I mean,
yeah,
Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson. These are the first time in the finals type guys. Hero's the youngest player ever to start. So
from the Heat, I would say the only person that has the most finals experience, if the only player, is Andre Iguodala.
Right. Yeah, it's his 6th straight finals. Yeah. I feel like he almost cheated that one. He somehow got onto the Miami Heat this year. Yeah, but anyway, I mean, I'm gonna probably bring up this question to everybody else once I let them all in here. Which I'm actually gonna do that right now. I'm gonna get the invite link and put it in the live chat, so anybody else who wants to join can join in here. But to you, my question was going to be the main thing that you think Miami can do going forward to get out of this hole.
To get out of this hole? So in the second half, I think the first half was more competitive than the second half. And I noticed that in the third quarter, the Heat came out in a zone defense. And in my opinion, I think that killed them.
Yeah, and that's been a staple of Miami throughout this entire postseason, going to the zone. Yeah. So go ahead and keep talking. I'm going to do a couple things here while you give your points.
Yeah, I was just going to say, first and second quarter, like, Miami's defense was pretty good. It was spotty at times. But talking about defense, I would actually say that in the first half, both teams' defenses were kind of not at their best.
Right.
Yeah, and then
so many points in that third quarter, right?
Yeah.
I mentioned it earlier, and that third quarter was 39-37, Heat outscoring LA. LA had 103 points after the third, so it's not like that was a defensive first-class show going on out there,
Yeah, the Heat tried to make a statement at the beginning of the third quarter, and to them, it just failed.
Yep. Okay, so I am going to let a couple more in here right now. We're going to have Brandon Crotchet come on in and Dennis as well. Brandon, longtime viewer, supporter down from Florida. We appreciate him out here. There he is.
In the bubble.
And he's in the bubble right now. I don't know. He's a little bit outside the bubble. There he is. And we'll have Mark come in here as well. Dennis, all the way from Nairobi, Kenya. So just some solid people out here.
I'm Alex, avid NBA fan. As Josh pointed out, avid Kings fan, but just wanting to talk basketball.
All right, Brandon. I know you're on the other night. It's the first appearance you've made on the channel.
Yeah. Hi, Brandon, a NBA fan. I also work in the NBA as well. Well, I was until obviously after COVID hit. Kind of took it.
Oh, wow.
I do a little bit of some camera work with the Magic. Looking forward to it next year. But yeah, I was gonna say, Alex, you make some pretty good points about the game tonight, and looking forward to discussing it further with you guys. So
yeah.
Perfect, good stuff. And Dennis, I'm just trying to go back and making sure not blocking you here. Obviously, I don't think you're the hugest Lakers guy, but you're a big LeBron guy, and you've stuck with him through the years. Yeah, go ahead. Feel free to comment on LeBron, anything you saw here tonight. Introduce yourself to the people. This is your debut on the channel.
Oh yeah. My name's Dennis, and I love the game. I watched the game actually, and I can say the Heat don't have an answer for LeBron and AD. No answer. They're gonna sweep them, and I actually feel like the competition is between who's gonna win the Finals MVP. I don't know if it's LeBron, it's AD. I think it's gonna. I don't know who it's gonna get to, but can't wait to see. Can't wait to see the memes that are gonna come there. But I'm pretty sure the best man is gonna get the award. And I'd actually like to see AD get that award because I think he played hard. He's a great teammate. He's actually excellent. Actually, I've never seen someone dominate a game like that. Actually, he bullied the Heat in game 1. Oh man, he then bullied them again in game 2. So I don't know. I don't know if anyone has an answer. I don't even know if the league has an answer for AD. So, well.
Yeah, and that's something I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream as well, is that it almost feels like the competition is becoming more between Anthony Davis and LeBron for MVP versus Heat versus Lakers.
Yeah.
And so in a way, that's kind of a shame because we hope for a competitive series. But at the same time, while this was this was only a 10-point game, and so it just always seemed like it was more out of reach than it actually was. But the Heat had a chance throughout, and it looks like Mark just connected. Mark, any initial? You can introduce yourself again to the people here, and any initial comments on this game. We have Mark. Mark's shaking his head. He may not be connected. Okay. Either way. I wanted to shout out Brandon for a second here too. I did not know. Obviously, we're just getting to know each other more here. I did not know you did camera work for the Orlando Magic.
Yeah,
Man. I know it's a little bit off topic, but if you could just go into that a little bit more if you want to.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. I actually graduated from Southeastern University about 2017, and I've been, big Magic fan over here. I've been trying to get past 2 years every time, but then the third time's the charm, they always say. So I applied, and I have a friend who works in the control booth up there. I originally started as a grip, so basically I just assist the camera op, plugging in camera batteries, or if they need to, wrap wires and stuff like that. That's what I did. And then towards the end of the year, they started giving me more opportunities to run camera, and they really liked how I did. And so they're like, hey, next year we really want to use you as a camera op for our G League affiliate over in Lakeland, which is great because I live about 20 minutes away from Lakeland, and I'll actually be moving into Lakeland soon. So it's pretty much like a godsend. It was like perfectly pulled out and everything like that. So I'm looking forward to next year getting some reps at camera whenever that comes. Hopefully it's hopefully it's not like all the way into like 2021, maybe towards the end of December or something.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. I can't relate to like working cameras on like a broadcast level, but I do some of it. Local church, we're using the black magic, and I can't explain all of it. I just pick it up, they show me how to do it, and I'm learning to shoot. But no, it's good stuff, and you need to know what you're doing, and so good to hear that, and you're at that level, man.
Appreciate it.
That's a really cool thing. All right, so let's get on back. Mark, are you in now?
Yes,
You good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, for some reason, Zoom wasn't allowing my microphone to connect, so now I'm working now. So
tech issues are tech issues. Yeah. Any initial reaction to this one or the series as a whole? Anything you want to add?
What happened to Myers Leonard?
That's true. Like, what he didn't? Did he play tonight, or what happened with him?
He started 9 minutes and shot some good shots. So I don't know. Like, he would have been better than Kelly Olynyk. He's better than Kelly Olynyk, so I don't know why he didn't play more.
Yeah. I mean, if you were just watching that game down the stretch, then you would have thought Kelly Olynyk had a bad game because he was missing key shots that could have gotten him back into that one.
Yeah.
But really, he had 20, and I saw some stat. He had 20 and 9 or something like that, and he was the first player off the bench in finals history to record such numbers off the bench. So it's not like he had a bad game. It's just, that's the option they have to go to at this point, and it's going to be tough for them. So we'll go back to AB up there. I think he's top left of my screen. I don't know what he's at of you guys, Alex Burleson. So what did you think out of Jimmy Butler tonight? I'll ask that. Possibly talking about him taking more shots. I don't know what you thought about that.
Yeah, so I was taking some notes on Butler, and what I liked about Butler is that he was aggressive. He showed aggressiveness with getting to the rim. It didn't always pan out, but like he kept going. I was saying to myself, sometimes I talk to myself while watching the games, that if he keeps attacking, then the rest will honor that. Because it works both ways. It's just like, it's almost like in street ball. I'm going, it's like call your own fouls like rules. In the NBA, it's more, it's like actual official play. So like you have someone there to call the plays. It does nothing if Butler's calling his own fouls.
Yeah, he did take it to the hole a little more at the end of the game there. I remember there's one play he went up, I think LeBron had verticality on him, where he straight up missed it, grabbed his own rebound, put it in. But yeah, Dennis, I know you're a big LeBron fan, but you're also, in many conversations I've had with you, you are objective in terms of just appreciating greatness around the game. So asking you also the question, similar vein, Jimmy Butler's performance tonight, what did you think of it? And do you think that he needs to do more, or is there one other player that you could specifically call out on Miami to maybe step up a little bit more for them?
Well, what I can say about the Heat is, and Jimmy Butler is, okay, I've known Jimmy Butler since he was in Marquette. I mean, he's pretty solid. He's a solid player. He knows how to play the game well. He doesn't cheat the game. He just follows the plays, make sure that he gets his teammates involved. That's what we saw from him playing in the Bulls, the Wolves, and the Sixers. We saw a lot of that. He's a dog in the game. So him leading this Miami Heat team to at least steal one game, it's possible because I feel like they have the shooters surrounding him. Even if we don't have Bam, even if they don't have this guy Goran Dragic, but I think they can still win a game because the Lakers, they're up 2-0, but I know at some point they're gonna slack a bit. They're gonna let a game slip up like same way they did with Denver, like in Game 3, maybe a Game 3 or Game 4, and I believe they can win at least one game, but if Jimmy Butler comes up and shows up like he's the Jimmy Butler we know, if Jimmy Butler just becomes Jimmy Butler, I think he can win like at least 2 games and tie up the series. make it a bit interesting. If it drops like the insane numbers like AD, like 40 points or 35 points, that type of stat line. So maybe, yeah.
Right. He needs to become, as Brett Brown said, James Butler. He goes, that was James. He goes, Jimmy, I remember that quote. I don't know if any of you guys remember the quote. Jimmy was on 76ers and he hit a game winner, and Brett Brown said, that was James Butler. And Jimmy goes, I never refer to myself as James. What are you talking about? But anyway, Brett Brown is no longer the coach of the 76ers for that very reason. I'm just kidding. But anyway, so yeah, Jimmy Butler stepping up definitely can help them. But yeah, I mean, it's got to be a by committee effort. I think we talked about this the last time out, and it's next man up mentality. But to keep the conversation going, if you all had to pick right now, and I think Mark last stream was on this before it became a popular discussion point. Your finals MVP. Now, I know you can't pick it through 2 games, but I think we're looking at a situation where
you could pick it through the whole playoffs. You know exactly who it is. You know exactly who it is.
Maybe regular season too. AD did lead LeBron in almost every major stat line. Not to say that he's a better player than LeBron, but he obviously was able to excel in many roles in many ways this season. So, Mark, you're picking AD. What's your main reasoning behind picking AD besides the fact that he's averaging the most points?
He's the most consistent, and he literally he's the most consistent. The other team has no one to stop him. It's been almost the same way the entire playoffs for him and most of the season, because most of these teams don't have anyone that can stop someone of that caliber. Davis.
Do you think? Yeah. So I'll follow that up. Do you think LeBron is deferring to him?
I don't think LeBron's deferring to him, but LeBron wanted him on this team for a reason. I mean,
yeah, I could say, yeah, he's making sure that he has utilized his maximum potential. And I don't think, like I said, I don't think this is a fault toward LeBron. It's like, hey, if the guy's hot, you give him the ball, you feed him the ball. It's like a street ball type principle, right? I see Brandon, you're shaking your head. So would you give the Finals MVP to AD through 2 games? I mean, through 2 games, yeah, you probably would. But through the rest of the series, if he keeps it up, would you give it to him?
I was about to say, are we considering the regular season and playoffs like with Mark, or if we're just talking about finals? Yeah, I would say if he can keep it up, it's neck and neck. I think just because LeBron, even though he's been taking a step back, I think, and letting AD ride the hot hand, he's still been able to still contribute in a lot of other ways, and he still was able to get buckets tonight. But I think that the way AD's been playing this entire series, and again, only 2 games, if he can keep up the points and also keep up the rebounds, that's been another thing. And his presence on the defensive end, if he can keep that up, I think that he, in a close one, I think he should be able to lock up Finals MVP and, really establish himself now, because a lot of people, I think, have kind of forgotten a little bit about AD. They always kind of forgot about him from his Pelicans days. So this is, I think, his big opportunity to really step up and step out.
Yeah, it's a good point. Speaking of the Pelicans days, I saw a lot of people tweeting tonight that possibly New Orleans did not get enough in that trade. Now, I remember it was Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball. I forget if any draft picks were involved in that. Obviously, at that point, the trade was made. Lonzo Ball still had a tremendous upside. Dennis, do you want to comment on that? Do you think that the Pelicans got robbed in this trade in the long run, or do you think the Lakers gave up too much? What do you think?
No. Actually, both teams won the trade in this. Both teams won the trade in this sense. The New Orleans Pelicans got Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and 4 first-round picks, including the 4th overall pick in the 2019 NBA draft, which they traded down for, and they traded away for some reason. I don't know. They got a lot from the trade. I mean, they hit the rebuild. They hit the rebuild button quickly, as in they are able to build a championship core with the young pieces that they have easily, letting go. And they also had to let go of a disgruntled star in AD. He never wanted to be there. He never even finished the game. So I believe both teams won the trade in this sense. The Pelicans were able to hit the restart button in their rebuild, and the Lakers got a championship contender in AD. So both teams on the trade. No, it's not lopsided.
Yeah, and you saw this is a good point both way. You saw New Orleans, come close to reaching the playoffs this season, and that's without Zion for a chunk of the games. Regardless if you think he's the next big thing or if he's overrated, he did help them immensely in those games, and he did make the All-Rookie first team. His numbers were good regardless. Alex, I know that you watched a lot of 2000s basketball, and there wasn't many guys like an AD who could stretch the floor like that. But and you don't have to answer this right away. We can go around the square or whatever this is here to answer this question. But if you had to compare AD to a player in the past, doesn't have to be from the 2000s, who does he most resemble in your opinion? And whoever wants to take this first, you can take it first. But I'll yield to Burley if he has an answer.
In my opinion, I was right when you were starting that. Dirk Nowitzki came to my mind. I feel AD is a more aggressive Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki. Okay, when you say that, I'm starting to get some combinations of players in my mind, but I'm not going to share it to the very end. I'm the host. I'll go. Whoever wants to answer next.
Oh, I can answer next on that.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Hey, did you raise your hand, sir? This is a class. That's how it'd be on Zoom for real though. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, I feel like AD has taken like okay, I have to combine a few players. I have to combine at least two players. I can take David Robinson. I see a lot of David Robinson and a bit of Dirk in terms of shooting. Okay, I can say David Robinson was killed. I saw David Robinson in his Spurs days. He was pretty good. He actually he was a legend. I can say in the Spurs. So when I see AD play, I just see that dominance. I just see that skill in the post. I see his moves. I just see those two guys like merge together. It's like a remix. So like it's not one player. It's like two players mixed in one big package. So
Yep. And I'm thinking, well, I won't give mine away, but I think I'd have to remix it as well. Mark or Brandon? It's tough. It's not doesn't come to you right away. I mean, if you guys want to share yours, you can share yours. If you want to yield, and I can share mine. Yeah, go ahead.
I guess if we're raising hands right now, I feel like I'm going back to school already. It's like been 3 years. Goodness. I was thinking with the Dirk comment, I could kind of see like what Alex was saying. He's got some good range from deep. But I think when you mentioned Josh, like a combination of players, I was gonna say probably we're talking about like 2000s basketball. Like why not combining the three greatest power forwards in the 2000s: Duncan, Garnett, AD, or not AD, and Dirk. You've got
that's good.
You've got the range and shooting touch of a Dirk. You've got kind of all around defensive game, and just all around game in general of a KG, and then good post present in Duncan. So on both sides.
It's a good answer. Mark, you want to follow it?
Throw Shaq in there for the extreme dominance and fantastic and a good chef's kiss.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, some of those, you might as well top it off there. I mean, some of the dunks he had tonight were Shaq-esque, like the two-handed, just ripping it down. I was going to say, before Brandon went, I was going to say KG and Dirk, but definitely Tim Duncan, defensive ability, putting him in there as well. And so, yeah, good stuff. Okay, I don't know if I want to bring this up now because we have some more games to go, but I'm pretty sure, as storylines evolve, we'll find stuff to talk about. Or maybe we'll talk about this again in a different way. I don't know. But I'm going to go Dennis first. Now, Dennis, so I don't even know if I like this question. And because there's never a definitive answer. LeBron James wins this championship. Oh, boy, you know where I'm going with this. If he wins this championship, where does he rank on the all-time list? This is a terrible. Why am I doing this? Why am I spending the time with this? This is not what this channel is about. But we need to ask the question. We got to have the question. Y'all are here.
I will not give comment.
That's okay. You can not comment. It's all right. But I want to hear what Dennis has to think about this here.
Okay. Well, one thing I can say is this: LeBron, through his career, I don't think he has anything left to prove. When he came back down 3-1 from Golden State, we saw him being a legend. No team, no player or team has ever come down 3-1 in a final series. He stamped his legacy in 2016. Him winning another championship is just adding on to the success that he had. I mean, the man has made 10 straight finals. I mean, no player of this generation, or even like anyone, has ever had the immense success that he has, or is going to replicate it in the future. So, all time, well, I can put Jordan and LeBron in the same dinner table. That's what I can say. They'll be eating from the same table. So, I believe if he wins the Finals MVP, I don't know. let me not say something to offend the pro Jordan, but I believe he's the greatest player of all time. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Yeah, and fair. And you know what? And I know a lot of people in this generation are going to think that. I mean, personally, like, I wasn't able to watch Jordan live. You know, I can only go back and watch documentaries and stuff like that. And I think a lot of us here probably could only see like the tail end of his career, maybe some of his prime, but probably really young. But that's a good answer, you know. And I've seen people construct the NBA pyramid, and it's like LeBron and Jordan are upper echelon, and then you can go down to the Kobe's and Magics and Kareem's and Wilts in the next, and then you can go and just, you know, you can keep going down the pyramid. And so to you give that answer, they could eat at the same table. Absolutely. I mean, you know, 10 finals, and at a point he had made like, you know, 8 straight. It's insane. So he has tremendous staying power. Nobody has ever had the staying power that he has in the longevity. And to be able to play like this at such at a later age. Although MJ did win his 6th championship at the same age that LeBron is at right now, but to consistently be there is impressive. It's a testament to greatness, and we got to respect it.
Yeah.
Okay, so one other thing that I wanted to bring up
I have
here,
a question for Dennis.
that's probably, yeah, go ahead.
So Dennis, did you follow LeBron to LA, or were you an LA fan before?
Okay, I was an LA fan before. Okay, you can see from the Kobe jersey. I loved LA because of Kobe. I saw him just dominate other teams, and I just fell in love with the Kobe's game. Actually, Kobe was like among the first guys I came to know in the 2000s. Man, he's a legend. People don't give him the same respect, but I believe that he also is on that same tier as LeBron James, Michael Jordan, in terms of like competitiveness, and also if you even put the rings there, even the Finals MVP. I mean, he's a legend. I loved Kobe, and me seeing LeBron leave the Cavs and join the Lakers, I fell in love with LA more. It was like 2 times, so yeah.
So
I love LA.
So would you say you would still put LeBron over Kobe?
No, I don't have an answer for that. I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. I mean,
because I know he's got the full hand of rings, even though one of them, you know, I have a problem with. I have a problem with that 0-2 ring, but it is what it is.
You're talking to a Kings fan here, man. You got to remember it.
And
Started. Don't get me started.
No, we can't bring up 2002 in this. No, please.
Good.
No 2002.
Don't do that.
Nobody wants it.
Don't do that.
Okay. The last topic I wanted to ask you guys about, probably more non-finals related, but has been in NBA news lately, is this Kyrie Kevin Durant podcast. Whether you listen to it or not, making a lot of quotes, and one of them was saying that Kyrie was taking shots at LeBron by saying he has been the clutchest player on every team he's been on, besides now that he has KD. And obviously he's been on teams with nobody in terms of superstar status, and then he's been on teams with LeBron. And so evidently in that statement, you can infer that he is saying that LeBron was not as clutch as him when he was on the Cavs. He said he followed that up by saying, if I was referring to LeBron, he didn't say LeBron's name, but if I was referring to somebody, I would have addressed them by name. He tried to downplay it, but that did happen on the podcast. And so anyway, initial reaction to Kyrie Irving saying something like that, and what do you expect out of him and KD this upcoming season? Because that is one of the main things that I'm looking forward to. I don't think the game is the same without them, regardless of what you think of their media antics. Anybody who wants to start, you can go Burley, because I know I was listening to the podcast with you, Alex.
Yeah, so I would agree with that I think AD is the most clutch player that LeBron's ever had on his team. A close second when you were saying that, I was brought back to the 07 when LeBron first started. I think a close second to AD being a clutch teammate of LeBron's is Mo Williams from that year's Cavaliers team. He was really clutch that year for them.
So you said, just to clarify, you think that AD has been a more clutch teammate than Kyrie to LeBron?
Yeah.
Okay. And you put Mo Williams above Kyrie in terms of clutchness as second on that list.
Okay, I know that's a big debate because Kyrie, of course,
Whoa.
way better than Mo Williams. But if you watched Mo Williams back then, you would see what I'm talking about. He was a clutch player.
Is it Game 7 Finals clutch? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's tough. We're getting into debate territory.
Game 2 clutch.
Okay. All right. Brandon, you got to what do you think of Kyrie's statements?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Kyrie is a clutch player, and as far as shooting goes, he's a very clutch shooter. Probably one of the most clutch shooters in the NBA today. You know, you got guys Dame and him. But as far as like him being the most clutch player on every team he's played for, I mean, being clutch is not just about, you know, making a clutch shot, but also too like the chase down block for LeBron in the finals in 2016. Like that, if you could make a clutch defensive play, that I think is just as important as making a clutch offensive play.
Yeah.
And LeBron's been able to make clutch shots though too. I remember, I think it was back in late 2000s when they were playing the Magic Ball teams, and LeBron hit a buzzer beater right at the end of the playoff to beat us. So, you know, Kyrie is a clutch player in his own right, but I think that LeBron has been able to prove himself not just a clutch shooter, which he's done multiple times, especially recently in the playoffs, but he's also been able to prove it on the defensive end as well, i.e. the chase down block. So.
Yeah, specifically play referencing that Game 2 09 Eastern Conference Finals. I think that tied the series as well. Yeah, you still did. You still got the chance there. And so anyway, I think that's been a narrative that's been disproved a lot lately, Dennis. When speaking to LeBron, you know, we always thought he wasn't as clutch because he didn't take the last shot every time, and it ended up being almost a debate of him versus Kobe, and some of it got out of hand. But as Brandon said, and I think you'd agree with him, that it's a lot more than just a shot-making ability at the end of games. You want to speak on LeBron's ability to be clutch, especially recently in the postseason?
I mean, the man has hit like LeBron has hit like. Okay, let me go back to the 2018 playoffs. The playoffs, right? The first series against the Pacers. He hit that buzzer beater 3, right? He hit that buzzer beater 3 on the Pacers to take. Was it Game 5? I don't know. Either Game 4, Game 5. I'm not sure, but he hit a buzzer beater then. This next series, the Raptors, he hit that buzzer beater in game 2, Game 3 to take a 3-0 lead. I mean, this guy has been clutch. That 2016 Finals clutch defensive play, I agree with Brandon on that point. Like, it's not about the offensive clutchness, it's about the defensive. I don't know why Kyrie makes that mistake. Like, he thinks that being clutch is about scoring, but also making a crucial play. Like, okay, look at the game winner that AD hit on the Nuggets. it was a clutch play by LeBron, because if you looked at that play closely, LeBron was the decoy for that, because the people thought that he was going to get that inbounds pass, but he lured away Denver's defense so that it can allow AD to get some space and shoot that game winner. So it's a combined effort. Clutch is being like what Curry is using clutch as. Clutch for him, clutch is like scoring, but it's like a compounded thing. You have to put in defensive play, out of bounds play calls. I mean, it's team effort. You just can't say that, oh, because he hit that clutch shot, he's clutch. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're talking about being clutch, the most clutch player, okay, let me go off a bit. The most clutch player I know is Chris Paul. If you're talking about being clutch, is Chris Paul. Chris Paul is the most clutchest player I've seen in my NBA life. I know that's the only guy that I know that he can get you buckets end of game. So, yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, well, in listening, I'll let Mark have a chance to respond. But one thing that I noticed consistently is I've listened to almost to the entire first episode of this podcast is that Kyrie has Kobe in his mind as I believe he believes that Kobe is a better player than LeBron. Now, whether we agree with that or not, I think we need to understand that so we can correctly interpret what he's saying. I know that he claims that a lot of his quotes get taken out of context by the media, and he wants to be viewed as more than just a basketball player. Understand me as a person and everything like that. And so, if we understand that from the jump, he in his mind has elevated already Kobe over LeBron because he sees Kobe as, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but he may see Kobe as a better basketball player in terms of having it be an art form, the type of shots that he was able to make because he's not as big, strong, or fast as LeBron. So Kobe in his career had to make more creative shots, him and MJ, fadeaway jumpers. They had to learn the game in a way where they could score in ways that they couldn't like LeBron has. And so he may see Kobe as a better basketball player because of his talent as a purely basketball standpoint, not in terms of the best, bigger, faster, stronger. And so from that, understanding that, he may think that, clutch is Kobe. Translates to, you take the last shot every time. You don't pass. You don't, whatever the case may be. And so if that's how you're interpreting clutch, then you're always going to default and say MJ, Kobe, they're way more clutch than LeBron. Yeah. Anyway, Mark, anything you want to say in response to all of this?
In response to all of it, I say AD is the more clutch one out of him or Kyrie. But Kyrie left out the most clutch player LeBron has ever played with, and that's J.R. Smith.
Oh, that's right. How did we forget? How did we forget, dude?
Oh, man.
There is no live stream of the NBA Finals with LeBron James that can go without a J.R. Smith reference. All right? And so, Mark, I just got to thank you for that tonight, man. You absolutely put a cap on this whole thing.
J.R. Smith, man.
J. Smith.
All right, guys. We'll be back. There it is, right there. The meme. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end this meeting. We went over our 40-minute limit. Zoom gave us more time, so hopefully, I have no problem talking with you guys for that long. But hopefully on Sunday, Zoom does not cut it out. If you guys are willing to be here, I'll see you all back here on Sunday. You got one last thing to say?
Yeah, we should have one roast for the Clippers, for the fans. You have to do a roasting for the Clippers. They blew a 3-1 lead. People gassed them up to win the finals, so we should do one of those to make sure that we highlight their flaws. We make them feel bad. We make them feel bad that they don't have a future draft pick. So we should have a roast for the Clippers.
Oh, dude, salt on the wound, bro. Hey,
Classic
look, I already posted my video on that.
Classic LA fan.
I said what I said about that and why Kawhi left. So that's already out there. I think I already, gave them enough attention. But anyway, I'll let you guys go, and I'm going to wrap up this live stream. Thank you for being here again. And the game on Sunday is a little bit earlier in the night, and well, for Dennis, that's going to be the next day. So if we can get on here, you want to hop on here at 4 a.m. or whenever it's going to be for you, then you can do that. For the rest of us, we'll see you here probably on 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, Sunday night. So thank you guys.
Deuces.
Yep.
Cool.
Peace out.
All right. Peace.
That's right. Out. All right. There it is. There it is. Let's get this all back up here now. All right. That's about all I got to say. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this live stream. It's always better when I can do it with you guys. You know, I know I've been doing these in the past, just giving my monologue and then going off of the comments, which I'm going to check one more time before we get out of here. A couple other people in the comments here. I want to shout out Ranji Raja in here. Fidelis Matthew Castillo is in here as well. Baha Nazir, I saw you in the beginning. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the live chat as well, even if you did not come on to the Zoom call. And so, anyway, that's what we got for tonight. The Heat now down 2-0 to the Lakers. The Lakers win by 10. Anthony Davis has a great game. Could be Finals MVP. Go ahead and leave a like on this. Leave your feedback, comments down below if you did not make it out to the live chat. And we'll be back Sunday after Game 3. This is Topic Tackle. Thank you for watching. And stay solid, people.